Okay, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to this tutorial. Today we'll be talking about Microsoft Word, how to navigate around the Microsoft Word. Wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is the very first session I'm gonna have with my students, and I'm gonna be doing it via the comfort of my home. I've not done this before. The inspiration just came and I said I should try it. Wow, congratulations, Sandra. Okay. Sandra, Faith, and everyone that's going to be viewing this. Wow. So today we'll be navigating around them, how to use the Microsoft Word. Now, all I need from you right now is everything I'm going to be showing you right here. Just follow my cursor. Remember I showed you this mouse that is moving on the screen. Follow whatever I'm doing with my voice and you are going to get everything. I promise you that. I'm going to make this training very clear and simple so that even without my help, you can be able to do it on your own. Remember the last time we met, we talked about the MS Word and we talked about all the components of MS Word. We talked about the title bar. Hope you've not forgotten. We talked about the menu bar. Like I said, where my arrow is, that's the title bar. We talked about the menu bar where we have the home, insert, design, page layout, reference, mailings, review, view. And we talked about the office button, which is this file here. Can you see it? It contains infos like save, save as, open, and all of that. Let me go back. We talked about the office button. I said the office button holds command like minimize, maximize, and close. And we talked about the work page or sheet. So I am going to be doing my working. Can you see it? This is called the work page. Exactly. All right. We talked about the ruler bar. Where my arrow is, that's the ruler bar. Can you see it? And we have another ruler bar here. All right. So in case if your the ruler bar on your own laptop is not displaying, just click on view. After clicking on view, then click this ruler. Can you see it? Once I remove it, can you see that the ruler has gone? So once you click it, it's going to come back. All right. That's that about that. Then we also talked about the navigation bar, which is also part of the components of Microsoft Word. We talked about the status bar, which is this blue bar you're seeing. It holds information about the document you're currently working on. And lastly, the taskbar. Like I said, the taskbar is beneath your screen and it also holds information of what you're working on. So anything you are doing on the computer, it is displayed on the taskbar. Then once you close it, you've closed the program or the application you're working on. All right, let's start. So today we'll be navigating about around all these options we are seeing here. All these options we are seeing here on the home menu. So first of all, let us start properly. So we'll be talking about this font styling. This font styling where you have font. Can you see where my arrow is? Font. So now let's go. Let me type a word. Welcome. Welcome to this learning session. All right. So this is a word. Welcome to this learning session. Welcome to this learning session. All right. Oh, okay. Let me make it long. Let me increase it. Hope you are going to enjoy every bit of it, cause it is going to be very simple and easy. Yeah. So right now, this is a word. Um, this is a word. This is a sentence, rather, not a word. Hold on a bit. All right. So this is a sentence right now, and I want to change the font styling. Can you see where my cursor is? This is where you come to change the font styling. Now, note before you do anything, first of all, highlight whatever you are working on. Highlight it. Do you understand? I repeat, if you don't highlight it, you won't see the command of what you are working on. So highlight it first. So let me highlight it. How do you highlight? Hold down your left click button. Remember, we talked about the mouse, right click and left click. Hold down your left click button and you drag. So that way you're going to highlight it. And it also depends on where your cursor is. Can you see where this cursor is blinking? Can you see it? So I will hold down my left click button there and I will highlight to the left rather, yeah, to the left, and take it up. That is how to highlight. If my cursor is here, can you see where it's blinking there? I will hold down my left click button and I will highlight to the right. Can you see it? So that is how to highlight. So I've already highlighted the document. I have done that. So if I want to change my font styling, I will click this drop down menu. Can you see the drop down menu? I'm going to click the drop down menu here, and you have so many styling. There are much. If you scroll down, can you see it? There are much. So depending on the document you are working on and the design you want to do, that's going to determine the styling. So these are the basic free styling. Time New Roman. Can you see the effect? Area black. Can you see the effect on the screen? I've not clicked it, I'm just hovering over it. Can you see area rounded empty bold? Can you see Hungarian? Can you see the effect? So whichever one, let me pick area black. Okay, let me something simple, area. So I've clicked it. That is how to change your font styling. Do you understand? That is how to change your font styling. So whichever font styling you want, to just click this drop down and you're going to see a lot. Or if you know the font styling name, you can click here where you have area. You can click it, you can delete it and search for it. Let's say for example, time, can you see it? Time New Roman. Then I press enter. Oh, sorry. Times, not time, rather. Let me click it again. Times. Can you see? Even white typing has brought it out for me. Times New Roman. Then I press enter. So automatically it changes to Times New Roman. Hope you are getting it. Hope you are getting it. If you are receiving value, say I receive value. Yes. Come on. All right. So let's continue. So that is how to change the font style. Now the next thing is to increase the size. Increase the size. So I want to increase the size of this text. It is too sorry, the size is too small, so I want to increase the size. Like I said, before you do anything, you highlight it first. Very important. So I will highlight it again. Also, take this down very quickly. Shortcut to change the font styling. So I'll be writing down some shortcuts so that I can write them out. So let me press enter and I'll write the shortcut. So the shortcut to change this font styling is control plus F. Control plus F is gonna help you change the font styling. No, sorry, Shift Control plus F rather. Shift plus Control plus F. So Shift plus Control plus F. Shift plus Control plus F. Can you see that now? I've already pressed the Shift Control plus F, so you can change the font styling. But one thing about this is it doesn't have all the font styling, so it is advisable to use this, the natural one. But it also has some cool features like strike through. Let's say now you want to put a double strike through. Like for instance, let me show you something. For instance, let me type capital letter N here, and I want to turn it into a naira sign. You know that naira sign that has to strike through. I can highlight, can you see it? Then use that Shift Control plus F, which is the shortcut to change font styling. Then I can set it to double strike through. Can you see that? Can you see the effect on the screen here where my arrow is? Can you see that? Then I can click OK. Can you see it? It has added a strike through. So it has cool amazing feature. Alright, so let's continue. So how do I increase the size of what I am working on? Like I said, highlight it. So let me also give a shortcut for highlighting depending on wherever your arrow is. So let me write it down below. Shortcut to highlight test. That's I'm gonna be giving you 3 different shortcuts. Number one is control plus A. Control plus A. Now the function of this control plus A is going to highlight all your documents. So let me put it there. It's highlight all your documents. So that means if you have a document that is more than 1 pages, maybe 1,000 pages on the same document, maybe you have 1,000 or more than one actually. The moment you use Control A, it is going to highlight everything. Take for instance, let me use it now. Control A. Can you see that now? It has highlighted everything. So if I have thousands of words, it's going to highlight everything. The second shortcut is Control. Let me see. Shift plus direction. No, arrow key. Let me put arrow key so that you won't find it confusing. So Shift plus arrow key. Shift plus. If you check your keyboard, you have the arrow key which says up, down, distance. So hold down your Shift and use the left arrow key. It's going to highlight it to the left, depending on wherever your cursor is. If my cursor is here, can you see where this cursor is blinking? And I hold Shift plus the right arrow key, it will highlight it to the right. So that's it. And then the last shortcut is Shift plus Control plus arrow key. Shift plus Control plus arrow key. So the same function. Now Shift plus arrow key and Shift Control plus arrow key is almost the same thing. I need you to spot the difference out. So please, Sandra Faith, use this command Shift arrow key. Look at the output vividly. Take for instance, I'm going to do it right now. Shift, I've pressed my Shift on my keyboard and I've used the arrow key to the left because the column the cursor is blinking here, so that means I'm highlighting to the left hand side depending on wherever my cursor is. So I'll use the Shift and align to the left. This is Shift plus arrow key. Can you see the way it is highlighting? Now let me use Shift Control plus arrow key. I've hold down my Shift and I've hold down my Control and I'm aligning to the left. Can you see the way it is highlighting it? So Sandra Faith, spot out the difference. Tell me the difference. That's an assignment for you before I tell you the difference between Shift plus arrow key and Shift plus Control plus arrow key. All right. So let's continue. How do I increase the font size? So these are the shortcuts. So I'm going to be using this. Welcome to this learning session. Hope you are going to enjoy every bit of it because it is going to be very easy. I'm going to be using it to do my work. So how do I highlight? Like I said, I will hold down my left click button, or you can use any of these shortcuts that I've given to you. But I'm using my mouse now. So I'm holding down my left click button and I'm highlighting everything. That is it. Just hold down your left click button, then move your mouse. It's going to work. Whether you are doing it on the laptop or using your mouse, the same thing. Then I'll come to this place where I have 11. Then I'll click this drop down button beside it. So can you see the numbers? Can you see that it is increasing? Can you see it? Can you see it? It is increasing depending on what I'm. Let me set it to 20. 20 is better. Also, let me highlight all these shortcuts so that I can see them very well. 18. Let me set it to 18. That is better. So can you see that right now? So that is how to increase the font size. Like I said, whatever you are working on, highlight first. I am repeating it. Highlight, very, very important. If you don't highlight and you are clicking the command, it won't work. Take for instance now, if I want to highlight this welcome, if I want to increase only this welcome now, without not highlighting it, look at. Can you see? Is it working? I've set it to 26. Is it working? No. So you need to highlight it first. You need to highlight it first. All right. If you are getting value, say I am getting value. Clap your hands. Come on. Let's roll. Yeah. So let's move to the next option. Now, also you can also, where you have this 26, you can also search for the word, because if you click the drop down, can you see the highest is 72? But if you still want to increase further, you can type a random figure there. Let me highlight this, only this welcome. Let me highlight only this welcome, only the welcome, so that you see it. Now let me search for a random figure. Let me put 150 and I'll press enter, my enter key on my keyboard. So can you see it now? So because the highlighting size stopped at 72, so if you still want to further increase, you can search it out here. But let me return it back to 20 so that we can see it clearly. Now what is it? Also, can you see where my arrow is? This increase font size and decrease font size it also does the same thing as this where my arrow is. Do you understand? So I can highlight all this text or this one, then I can come to this A here, and can you see where my arrow is? Just follow my arrow so that you get it. Follow my arrow. So can you see it? Can you see that it is increasing by clicking it, by clicking it, by clicking? Then I can also press this A to reduce it by clicking. So they are both doing the same thing. Hope you are seeing the effect. Hope you are seeing it. All right. So that is it. Now let me also give you the shortcut for increasing the font size. That is if you don't want to use this where my arrow is or this one. So now the shortcut. Let me press an enter key. Shortcut to increase or decrease font size. All right. Let me bold in everything so that I can see that it's different. Don't worry about how to bold. I'm going to show you how to bold. Just follow me as I go, and you're going to enjoy every bit of it. I promise you that. All right, shortcut to increase the font size. The shortcut to increase the font size is Shift plus Control plus. Shift plus Control plus. Then Shift. I don't know if you no sorry. Shift plus Control plus greater than or less than. Shift plus Control. So let me write it out. Shift. Hold on a bit. Hold on for me a bit. All right. Shift plus Control plus. In case if you are wondering where plus is, check your keyboard, search for it. You are going to see plus there. So Shift plus Control plus is going to increase. No, sorry. Shift plus Control plus greater than, less than, or greater than. So if you use Shift plus Control plus less than, this less than where my cursor is, this one, is going to decrease the size of the text. But if you use this Shift plus Control plus greater than, it's going to increase the size of the text. So that is why you have two options. Now I'm going to be using it right now. So let me highlight these words, and I will hold my Shift and I will hold my Control. Then I will use the less than sign on my keyboard. You will see this sign on your keyboard. So let me use the less than. Can you see that it is reducing right now? I have not taken my mouse up there to reduce. And also let me use the greater than sign. Can you see it? It is increasing. So that is the shortcut. Having said that, then I proceed right now. Now the next one, look at where my arrow is to change case. Change case. Now a case can either be uppercase, lowercase, sentence case, toggle case, or capitalize each word. Now what do I mean by uppercase? If I want to change all my text to capital letter, I use the uppercase. So uppercase basically is for changing the text to what? Capital letter all through. Remember I told you that you can also use your caps lock to write all your text in capital letter. Remember I said that. Don't forget. So you can also use this change case I'm about to show you right now to do that on Microsoft Word. Now before I continue, on your keyboard you can actually change a text to capital letter. Number one is by using the caps lock. So once you on the caps lock, everything you're going to be typing is going to be on capital letter. But once you off the caps lock, it goes back to small letter. Also, you can also use Shift. If you hold down your Shift and start pressing the Shift button on your keyboard, if you hold down your Shift and start pressing every letter, is going to write them in what? Capital letter. But it's a bit more stressful, so that's why you can use the caps lock to write everything in capital letter. But if you have been practicing with Mavis Beacon, because Mavis Beacon will teach you how to place all your 10 fingers and type, and while typing you will agree with me that you always come across with what? both capital and small letter y typing. So that is where you have to learn how to use your shift, and you can also learn how to use your shift by practicing with Mavis Beacon. Mavis Beacon will show you how to position your finger around the shift button. All right, having said that, let me continue. So uppercase is once is gonna place all your destiny all in capital letter. Lowercase, we place all of them in what? Small letter. Sentence case. Now, what is the sentence? You will all agree with me that while you were in school, while I was in school, in primary school, in secondary school, they told us that when we want to start a sentence, we start with what? Capital letter. So that is a sentence case. Sentence case automatically help you write the first letter to be what? Capital letter. Then whenever you put a full stop and you continue and you don't even put the first letter to be capital letter, it helps you. You can do that by changing it to sentence case. And also by default, while typing on Microsoft Word, even if you did not start the first sentence with capital letter, as long as you are typing, automatically by default Microsoft Word help you add the capital letter, so even without adding the capital letter. So let's look at how to change the case. So I will highlight these words again. Then I'll click. Can you see where my arrow is? Change case. So if I click sentence case, it is already in sentence case. Nothing happened because the first W right here is capital letter. Let me click again and lowercase. Can you see it? All the tests, they are all in what? Lowercase. Once I click again to uppercase, can you see what happened right now? All the tests are all in what? Uppercase. Once I click again and click capitalize each word, can you see it? Every word, the beginning of every word is what? Capitalized. Do you understand? Once I click again, toggle case. Can you see it? Can you see the way the toggle is working? It is mixing it small, big. Can you see it? So the first letter of every word is always small letter, while the rest is capital letter. That is the function of double case. Now, having said that, let me give you the shortcut to change case. So write very quickly. Um, shortcut to change case. All right. So what's the shortcut to change case? The shortcut to change case is shift shift sorry shift plus F3. Remember we talked about the keyboard. And I mentioned F3 as part of the function key. So the function key F3 that you have at the top of your keyboard, once you press it, once you hold down your shift and you press the F3, like I said, before you perform anything, you highlight what you want to work on, then you perform. And sometimes if you're not using a desktop computer, if you are using a laptop computer, like for you now, Sandra, sometimes when you highlight that what you want to change the case and you use the shift and you hold down your shift and you press that function key F3, sometimes it might not work. So you need to hold down shift, and there's a key on your keyboard named Fn. It is beside the Windows logo key and also beside the control key Fn. So you might need to hold down your shift and your Fn and the F3 before you can perform this function. Now let me use the shortcut right now. So I will not use this where my arrow is. So let me press the shortcut. I said the shortcut is shift F3. So I've hold down my shift and I've pressed F3. Can you see that it is changing by pressing the F3? I am still pressing the F3 with my shift pressed down. Can you see that it's working? So that is the shortcut. Do you understand? So I haven't talked about that. Let's talk about formatting option. Now the formatting option, where my arrow is, you have bold, you have italic, you have underline. Even this underline, if you click this drop down, you can have double underline or bold underline or dotted underline depending on what you are working on. So we'll look at it right now. So how do we bold a text? So let's say for instance now I want to bold only this. No, let me bold everything. So I want to bold all these words. So I will highlight all these things like this. Then I'll click on this B here. Can you see it? It has bolded the text. That is how to bold the text. And also take note of this. Whenever you use all these effects and you are typing again, it might be using that effect, but you don't want that. Just go back to where you have it and off this thing. Take for instance, I have already highlighted these things. Let's say I want to type this. Can you see? But it is typing it in let me come here. Let me press enter. Okay. So look at let's say now I want to type this after setting the bold. Can you see that it is still on bold? But I don't want that. I want this text I am typing to be in the ordinary case, ordinary format, and not on bold. So before typing the next line, if you don't want it to be on bold, just come here and off the bold. And by the time you start typing, can you see that it is not on bold? So that is what I want to show you. So that is how to bold the text. Now the shortcut to bold the text is Ctrl B. So let me write it out. Shortcut to bold a text. Excuse me, I don't know where this came out from. Okay, all right. So shortcut is Ctrl plus B. So once you highlight it and you use Ctrl plus B, it's going to bold the text. Now the next one is italic. Italic. Now what is italic? It changes your sentence. It changes your sentence from the normal sentence to a bent sentence. So let me highlight this. Welcome to learning session. Let me use the italic. Can you see what has happened? It has changed it to a bent format. So once you want to use italic, just come here and click the italic. And the shortcut to use the italic is Ctrl I. So let me write it out. So shortcut to use the italic. Okay, that's a Ctrl plus I. So once you press Ctrl plus I on your keyboard, is after highlighting, it's going to do this. So also underline. So let's say now I want to underline this. So I highlight this or this, and I'm not underlining all, just this. If you want to underline, you can highlight everything. Then I'll click on this U. Can you see that it has added an underline? But if I need a double underline, I'll click this drop down here. Then I will. Can you see what has happened? Let me use a double underline so that I can see it. So that is how to underline, and the shortcut is Ctrl U to underline. Shortcut to underline. Shortcut to underline. Alright, so that's Ctrl plus U. So once you use Ctrl plus U, it's going to help you underline. So let's proceed. Can you see this option where you have a strike through? So this is the same thing I did to this Naira sign here. Can you see this Naira sign? But this one is this will give you just a single strike through. So if I need a single strike through, let me highlight only this hoop. Then I click on this. So can you see it has given me a single strike through. Now the next one is this x base 2 and s raised to power 2. Now they are called, this first one is called subscript, while the second one is called superscript. Now I don't know, let me start with this subscript. Now how do we use this subscript? You will agree with me that you've come across in mathematics back then in secondary school when we talked about mathematics. We've talked about binary option in mathematics. I don't know if you've heard of binary option, number base rather. Number base, whereby you have 10 base 2, 2 base 10, 8 base 2, and so on and so forth. Do you understand? Now, let's say that you want to write it right here. Let's say you want to write it. Let me look for something so that you can see what I'm talking about. Let me go to my Google Chrome. Alright, now look at what is going to happen right now. Let me search for number base. Example, sorry. example of number base. Now let's look at what it's going to bring out for us. It's not giving me. Let me check. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Can you see it? This one I highlighted 7 base 8. This is done using the subscript. So let me use this as an example. Let me write this. Now I want to write this 17 base 8 on Microsoft Word. How do I do that? 17 base 8 is what I have here. So how do I do that? Okay. Now, in order to write 17 base 8 in Microsoft Word, now all I need to do is to write out everything. And what is the total number of everything I have here? 1, 7, and 8. That is what I have here, 1, 7, and 8. So I will write it out here. 1, 7, 8. Then I will now highlight only this 8. Can you see it? I will highlight only this 8 and click this subscript here. Can you see that right now? So can you see that right now? Once I click this subscript, can you see it? It now drops it below. That is how to use the subscript. So after using it, then I come here and click it to remove it from subscript. That is how to use the subscript. Now let's now use the superscript. In mathematics, you've also heard of 2 raised to power 2, 10 raised to power 5, or maybe 10th, whereby they write 1 and 0, then raise the th to power. How do we do that? Now let us start. Let me start with 10 raised to power 5. How do I write 10 raised to power 5? The first thing is to write the numbers first, which is, what are the numbers? I have 10 raised to power 5, so that is 105. So I will write out the 10, then 5. Then I will now highlight the 5. Can you see that? Then I now come to where I have superscript and click it. Can you see it? We now have 10 raised to power 5. Then I'll now remove it from superscript. Also, 10th year anniversary. You've seen 10th year, all this stuff. Second, third, first, all this stuff. Now, 10th, how do I write it? I'll first write 10, then TH. Then I will now highlight the TH. Then click this superscript. Can you see that it has raised to power? Then I'll remove it from superscript. Now there's also a shortcut for this. Let me give it a shortcut. Okay, shortcut. So shortcut to use the subscript. So the shortcut is control plus. So once you highlight whatever you want to use the shortcut, then once you highlight, just hold down your control, then use plus. It's gonna change it to what's it called? It's gonna change it to subscript. So it's gonna change it to subscript. Now the shortcut to use superscript. Can you see that when I press my enter key, because this first page is filled up, so it has dropped it to the second page. So shortcut to use the superscript. Alright. So the shortcut is Shift Control plus plus. Shift plus Control plus plus. So once you use this, it's going to change it to a superscript format. So let's continue. Now the next option is this. Basically this one is a word art, but I will introduce that to you. Yeah, not yet. So let me move to this one where you have even. Now this one is, maybe now you want to highlight some text. Do you understand, in your word? So let's say now I want to highlight this. Welcome to this learning session. I want to give it a different color. You know that whenever you are reading, you use your pen to underline the key points. Do you understand? So the same thing goes to a document. So I can highlight this thing like this. Then I can now come to this place. You see, I have so many color. I can use blue or this. Let me use this. So this one has already given it a color. That is, this is the key point in the document. That is how to do that. Now the next one is the font color. Now what is the font color? It means changing all this color from black to any other color. Now let me show you how it is done. Let me highlight all the text. Can you see I use Ctrl A now, the shortcut. It has highlighted everything. Now let me come to this font color. So can you see it? Let me use purple. Can you see it? All the text color has changed to purple. Depending on what you are working on, that is how to change the first color. But let me return it back to black. Now let's leave it as black. That's how to change the font color. Now before I call it a day, let's talk about the bulletin, the numbers, and the text alignment. Now, how do we add a bullet with a number? Now let me scroll up. You have seen, okay, let me use here. You've seen something like this before, whereby they will say, whereby you want to, now, before I continue, bulletin, this one, let me click this drop down, can you see it? And numbers, in the numbers we have 1, 2, 3, ABC, different options. Now what do we use it to do? It is used to list items on documents. So let's say now I want to say, I want to list some items in an order format. So I can use the bulletin or I can use the number. So how do I do that? Let's look at it right now. Types of food. So types of food. So let me underline this. So you also can underline it. So I will highlight it, then bold it using the Ctrl B and underline using the Ctrl U. Let me change it to single underline. All right. So types of food. So let me start. Let me remove it from underline and bold. So let me start now. I will use the bulletin first, and I'll come back to the number. So how do you use the bulletin? You click on this drop down, then you have dot, you have circle, you have square, you have this one, you have this, you have this, you have this. So whichever one you want to use, do you understand? Let me use this one. Let me use this. All right. So can you see that? Also, there's another thing. Now you can as well adjust this bulletin back to the left. How do you adjust it back to the left? You click on the bulletin, then you hold down your left click. I repeat, hold down your left click, then drag your mouse to the left. Can you see that it has changed position to the left? Then you can add types of food. I'm going to give you 3 types of food. The first one, shawarma. The spelling of shawarma, is it SHARM? No, this is the spelling shawarma. Yeah, let me add it to the dictionary. Now also take note of this. Hold on please, let me reply a message. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Now sometimes you might be typing some words like what we have here. You know the words we've been typing, it has not shown the red underline. What does that mean? Why is it showing this red underline? It means the word is not in the Microsoft Word dictionary. Do you understand? That is why. So it can't recognize the word. That is why it's showing underline. So you know that though it doesn't mean anything. Whether you are typing some words and it's showing underline, it doesn't mean anything and it doesn't affect your document. But if you want to add it to the dictionary so that next time it won't show you red everywhere, like I said, it doesn't affect your document and it doesn't mean anything. But if you want to add it to the dictionary, all you have to do is click in between the words, then right click. Remember I said right click is to show more options. Then after right click, you see this thing, then click add to dictionary. So this way it's not going to show the drop down. So let me give it 3 more. Enter. So I press beans, and the last one gari. So these are the types of food. Enter. Let me press enter again, so that, or use the backspace so that I can remove the bulletin. So if you have finished listing and you press enter and it's still bringing out the bulletin, just use your backspace to delete it. Press the backspace again to arrive at this. Now that is how to use the bulletin. Like I said, you have different options to use. Now let me list types of let me list continents in the word. Continents in Oh, sorry, I didn't spell it correctly. Continents in the world. So let me underline this. So let me underline Control U and Control B. All right. So like I said, after using it, you remove it so that it won't affect your next word. Let me show you the reason why you need to remove continent in the word. Now let me press enter. Can you see all my word is now underlined and bolding at the same time, and I don't want that. So after using the effect, just change it, remove it before writing your next word. Remove it. So it's continent in the word. Let me use the number drop down. We've talked about the bulletin. Let me use the number. So can you see it? I have 1, 2, 3. I have this. I have this. I have this. So depending on the format I'm using, but let me use this A. Now, like I said, you click on the A, hold down your left click button and drag to the left so that it can align well. Continent in the world. All right, let me list. Number 1, Asia. Oh, this country, this thing is still again. Let me remove it. I've removed it. Number 1, Asia. Number 2, Africa. Number 3, North America. Number 4, South America. Can you see it? But I'm using letters to number it. Yeah, it's my choice. It's your choice also. So the next one, I have North America, South America, I have Europe, I have Australia, yeah, Australia, and I have Antarctica. Okay, Antarctica. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the 7 continents of the world, and I used letters to define them. I can change it by highlighting it, then changing to number. Can you see it has changed to number? Let me use. So that this is how to use the number and the bulletin. Now the last but not the least, no, second to the last but not the least is what we call test align. Now test align. You can align your text to the left or to the center or to the right or justify. How do you use the test align? Now can you see this first one where my arrow is? This is aligned to the left. So by default, every content you are writing, they are all aligned to the left. So let's say now you want to highlight some words, like this example now, these types of food. I want it to appear here at the center. How do I use it? So I click this one. Can you see where my arrow is? Once I click it, it aligns it to the center. Is that clear? Now the shortcut to align. Okay, I'll give you the shortcut. Let me finish. So do you understand? That is how to align to the left. Now, what if I want to align to the right? Let me align this. Continent in the world. What if I want to align this to the left? No, sorry, is on the left hand side. Every document you are going to type by default is going to align it to the what left, which is this one. Can you see it is already clicked? So they are all aligned in the left. But what if I want to align to the right? Like I said, this is center. So this next one is going to align it to the right. Can you see what has happened now? I clicked it and that's already aligned it to the right. Now justify. I won't be talking about justify right now because if you use it now, you won't see the effect except you have a lot of notes. Okay, let me use it for this. This welcome to this learning session or this test. Let me highlight it. Let me highlight everything. Then click the justify. Justify is this last option here. This last option. Now, the function of this justify is to make sure that this side, can you see where my arrow is? This side and this side are all equal. That is how to use the justify. So now, what are the shortcuts? Let me give you the shortcut very quickly. All right. Okay, shortcut to align to the left. Like I said, by default it has been aligned to the left. So the shortcut is control plus L is going to align it to the left. Now shortcut to align to the right. then that one is control plus what? Plus R. Clap for yourself. Control plus R. So control plus R. It's going to help you align it to the right. Now, if you want to align to the center, so shortcut to align to the center. Now, what is the shortcut? Control C, Abby. If you say Control C, you are wrong. The answer is not Control C. The answer is Control plus E. Control plus E. Control plus E will help you to align it to the center. Now, what if you want to copy? Now, also let me give you that shortcut to copy. Now, I've not finished. Shortcut to align, to justify. We've talked about align left, align right, align center. Now, shortcut to justify. Shortcut to justify. So that one is Control plus J. Sorry, excuse me. Now, Control plus J. This will help you align to justify the context. Now, if you want to copy, initially you would have highlight, then right click, then you see copy, Abby. Now, what if you don't want to do that? The shortcut. So let me give you the shortcut. Shortcut to copy. So the shortcut to copy is Control plus C. Control plus C is going to help you copy. Now, to paste it, now whatever you've copied, shortcut to paste. The shortcut to paste now is Control plus V. Control plus V. So Control plus V is going to help you paste whatever you copied. And now, let's look at shortcut to cut. Now, if you want to cut something and paste in another place, that is, you want to remove it from that current location and paste in another place, the shortcut is the shortcut to cut. Now, that's what I want to give you right now. Shortcut to cut. So the shortcut to cut is Control plus X. Now, how cut, you might be wondering. Now, look at this. Let's say now I want to remove this from this current location. Initially people will just delete the text and type it wherever they want to do, but it's a long cut. So how do I do that? I will highlight this, then use Control X to cut. Then let's say I want to paste it beneath here. Now I'll just use Control V. Can you see that? What I've cut, I've pasted it. But let me return it back to where it is. Now, there's also something. Shortcut to undo. Shortcut to undo a text. So that one is Control plus Z. Sorry, hold on, somebody's at my door. So that's the shortcut to undo a text. Now you might be wondering, what do I mean by undo? Let's say now you are typing something and all of a sudden something came up. Maybe you are seeing some errors in your work. Or let's say, for instance, now you want to highlight something, then maybe bold it or do anything to that document, and by mistake you now go and press something on your keyboard, then that thing you highlighted, you didn't see it again. So instead of typing it back, you will just use Control Z. So it's going to undo that thing and bring back the previous stuff you're working on. So that is why I use Control plus Z. Also, shortcut to save. Shortcut to save. That is Control plus S. Also, shortcut to print. Shortcut to print. That is Control plus P. Now, shortcut to open. Let's say now you want to open a new Microsoft Word document. So the shortcut is Control plus New. So shortcut to open a new MS Word document. So the shortcut is Control plus N. So remember I told you that while you are working on a test, while you are working on a document, it is better to save as you are working, so that when the text delete or anything happen, you can easily retrieve it. So how do you save? Now I can use the shortcut, which is Control S rather, to save. I can come here, then click on Save As. So let me use the shortcut Control S. So it has brought me to this Save As. Do you understand? Then I can now browse where I want to save it. Like I said, you can save anywhere on your computer. Wait, let it load. Mine is loading, is coming up. So like I said, you can save anywhere on your computer. I can decide to save it on my desktop. So if I save it on my desktop, let me minimize this. If I save it on my desktop, then that document is going to appear here on my desktop. Do you understand? Or I can decide to save it in my document. So this is my document folder, the default folder that came with this my laptop. Every laptop and every computer has its own document default folder. So I can decide to save it here. Do you understand? I can decide to save it here, but let me save it on my desktop. So now, whatever you're going to be practicing or working on Microsoft Word, I need you to open a folder in this. What am I saying in essence? I've taught you guys how to open a folder. So let me open a folder right now. So like I said, how do you open a folder? Right click on an empty space on the computer, then click on New, then click on Folder. Can you see it? Then let me save it as MS Word tutorial. Then I've saved it. Then I press my enter key after putting the name. But don't save yours as MS Word. Save it with your name. Save it with your name. So MS Word tutorial. Now, how do I save this document? Let me cancel this and go back. So how do I save all these things I have done? Because I'm going to give you a project right now to do against when we meet. So how do I save this stuff I have done using saving it to that folder I just created? So use Control S or come to this file here and click on Save As. But let me use Control S, the shortcut. Then browse where you want to save it. Now let it load. Now it has come up. The question you need to ask yourself after this come up, where did I open the folder? Now I opened a folder on my desktop. So I'll click on this desktop here. Then I'll search for the folder. I saved it as Word, MS Word. So let me search for M. Can you see it? MS Word. Then I will double click to open this folder. So after double clicking and it has opened this folder, can you see no item because they've not added anything? Then this file name here, I will change it. So whatever project you are working on, give it a name related to the project you are going to be working on. So let me save this one as MS Word. MS Word stands for Microsoft Word. So MS Word tutorial, because that was what we did today. Then I'll click on save. Can you see it? Now this stuff is saved already. So let's see now. What if I am still working on it? Do you understand? I am still working on this thing. Let's say I want to add more content, like my name is Oluwole Olanrewaju Moses. Remember, I have not saved this thing I just added right now. Get. So I can do that by using the Control S. Now look at. Now let me take my cursor here to this status bar. Something is going to happen. Can you see where my cursor is? I added this FJK thing. Now let me save. Can you see what happened here now? So as you add content to it and use the Control S, now you will agree with me, this time around the Control S is not bringing out an option where we want to save, because we've already specified where we want to save. You understand? So the more we add content, you just use Control S to save as you're adding more content, more stuff into it. Is that clear? That is how to save. That is how to save. That is how to save. So I think with this few point of mind, we've covered a whole lot. Wow, this is a 54 minutes. This is a 54 minutes video. Wow, nice, nice, nice. Keep it up. Clap for yourself. If you know you've gotten value, come on, clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. And say it loud that I've gotten value. Yes, that's nice. Wow, this is a 55 minutes video on how to use the Microsoft Word. So we've talked about everything we need to on the home menu. So thank you very much, Sandra. Faith, thank you for your attention and for your time. It's nice doing business with you. Thank you very much. All right, so I'll be giving you a project to do right now. I think I will. Okay, I will send the PDF of what you're gonna do to you on WhatsApp. The PDF of what we are gonna type out against when we are gonna meet. Do you understand? So I will send the PDF to you on WhatsApp. Now, this video, can you see it here, is a 55 minutes video. So I won't be sending it on WhatsApp, but I'm going to upload it to my Google Drive and I'm going to give you the link on WhatsApp so that it will be easier, because if I say I can't send all, the video is very long, I can't send all to your WhatsApp. So I'll give you the link of my Google Drive. So once you click the link, it's going to open this video on this MS Word tutorial. Then you can watch, and you can also download it to your phone, then have a copy in case if you forget some things, then you can go back to it. All right, that is all about this. Thank you so much for your time, for your patience, for everything. Thank you very, very much. All right, bye bye. Next time we'll see, we're going to dive into deeper learning, deeper waters and everything. Bye. Thanks.